This portion of Beat Break Radio is only suitable for mature audiences and not suitable for young audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
All right, guys, let me welcome you back in from the break. You're inside the Random Select Podcast. It's the podcast that's all about thought-provoking talk. I am your host, Mario, and we're right here on Atlanta's new underground station, Beat Break 87 FM, where music and talk radio lives. Once again, guys, if you like what we're doing here, you like the Random Select, you like what I'm bringing to the table, please share. Let a friend know. We're out here on social media. You can go to beatbreakradiofm.com and get to the show. You can click on the listen now, or it'll take you to tune in, where we're streaming live 24/7. We're on Speaker, we're on iHeartRadio. You can also go to therandomselect.com, where you can catch some of the vlogs, some of the past podcasts. And you can reach me at randomselect@gmail.com if you have some correspondence that you just want to only share with little old me. So there's no excuse why you can't get in contact with us, Beat Break Radio or the Random Select Podcast. We're on social media everywhere social media is at. Hit us up on that Twitter page, on that Facebook page, on that Instagram. We're out there, people. The other day, my daughter asked me, she said, "Oh, it's my birthday, and you didn't really get me anything for my birthday, so I want to ask you for this one particular thing." And I know before you guys started sending me emails and stuff saying that, "Oh, you're a bad father, you didn't get your kid nothing for birthday." But we got a thing where she usually takes some time to figure out what she want. She tell me what she want, and I pretty much get it for her. So I rarely ever get her anything on her birthday, because she's so wishy-washy with what she want. It'll change 5 times, and then once I ask her the question, "Is this the locked in thing?" she'll go, "Okay, yes, okay," and then that's when I get her a gift. So this year, she started out with she wants some type of supersonic belt that help you lose weight around your midsection. Then she flipped that to she want a air fryer, right? Then she flipped it to something else. And see, that's what I'm saying. So I usually wait till I ask her the question, "Are you locked in? This is what you really want?" So she said, "Yes, this is what I really want." I said, "Okay." And then she came back 2 days later and said, "No, okay, I want to change that to this." So she said, "I want you to buy me this workout thing called R128. And I said, I don't know, it sounds like a bad morning after pill, you know. So she was like, "No, it's a workout thing. You know, they have a support group on Facebook. It's becoming like a rage. It's a phenomenon. And Jocelyn Hernandez helps put it together." And I was like, who is Jocelyn Hernandez? She was like, "Oh, the people from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta," which I don't watch it all, so I had no clue who that was. But I took her word for it. So I go to the thing. Because she give me the information. She sent me the link. I go to the website. I got her on the phone. I said, "Okay, talk me through what I'm trying to do." Because I said, you know, I'm down for a one-time payment, but I don't want any reoccurring thing where they're going to be charging me a certain amount of money every month for something that you may or may not do. I don't want to put myself on the hook for that. So she was like, "No, it's a one-time thing. I promise you, I'm going to get it. I'm going to do it. It's 28 days to a better you." You know, I said, okay, if you feel that that's what this is. So once I got in there, I started looking at it, and I said, okay, these look like low-impact exercises, a routine that you could do. They give you kind of like not necessarily a meal plan, but they kind of tell you what you can and can't eat. Now, let me just start all this by saying, about 6 years ago, right? Me and her together and another friend of mine, a friend of mine named Kim, we would come to my house. That's when I was living back out in Snellville, Georgia. We every day after Kim got off work and Shayla got out of school, we would come to my house and we would do Shanti's insanity workout. And I believe in Shanti's insanity workout because we did it to completion. We did it every day like it was supposed to, and all of us was looking, really well. I have a picture that I took of me, that my son took of me in the garage, without me even knowing, without me looking at it, and I realized how muscular and ripped I had become, just by doing this Shaun T insanity. But also I was working out on my Bowflex at that time too, because once I was in that mode, I wanted to work out, I wanted to get it in, I wanted to be right. My, how things have changed. Because as you get older and you start living life, and things coming up here, things coming up there, you have, got to take this group of kids here, this kid over here, this kid there, got to get the car fixed. Sometimes you don't have time to get in that gym and do what you're supposed to do. And also, while you're doing all that ripping and running, you are eating horrible. You're eating things you definitely shouldn't be eating, and eating way too much of things you definitely shouldn't be eating. So I said, okay, I'm going to take some time and I'm going to get back into this. I said, okay, since I bought it for her, let me see what the program is about. And she said, well, why don't you do it with me? You remember how we did Shaun T and how everybody was all in shape then. And she was like, well, I'm motivated when I have somebody doing it with me, when I'm working out with somebody. I said, but yeah, we're not in the same place now. You over there, I'm over here. She said, yeah, but we could do it, every morning. We can FaceTime, we can Skype, video chat, while you doing yours, I'm doing mine. That way we can stay motivated. You can see me, I can see you, and we can get it in like that. And I'm like, I really want to be committed to that, because I'm doing so much, stuff, like bringing these wonderful podcasts to you guys. And also, like I said, I got 2 sons playing football. I got a daughter, she's doing the violin. It's just a lot. But then I said, the one thing I've always told these kids, I said, when you start making excuses, all you doing is holding yourself back, right? And you know what she said to me? Dad, when you start making excuses, all you doing is holding yourself back. She said, does that sound familiar? I couldn't do nothing but smirk. One part of me was really happy to hear that my daughter had been listening to me, but another part of me wanted to say, listen here, I'm the father, you do what I say, you do as I say, not as I do. But it goes back to that thing where you can't preach and been trying to instill something into your kids, and then when it's turned around, you not being about what you preaching. You're not, as they say, be about it, don't talk about it, so you can't be a hypocrite in that way, because if she really takes to heart the stuff that I've said to her, this will throw it all out the window, because she was like, you full of crap, you full of BS, you don't really mean the stuff you've been teaching us. So I said, okay, let's go, let's do it. And I guess I'm saying all this story just to say that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm on the 28-day road to doing this R128 workout with my daughter. So y'all stay tuned. I'm going to take some before and after pictures and see how that go. And we just going to keep it right there, and see how this all turns out, What I really wanted to talk about, what I really wanted to get into is, God of War is out. Technically, I guess it's God of War 4, but yeah, it is out. And this is the game we gamers have been waiting to play for a while. I know I do the podcast and I talk about love and relationships a lot and talk about what's going on in the world, but at the core of it, I'm still a gamer. If you listen to my past, podcast a couple weeks ago, I talked about the death of Toys R Us, and I really truly meant that. It feels like an old friend died, because that's where you would go get your toys and your video games from, and I still play video games. Yes, ladies, damn it, I still play video games. Not as much as I used to, because life dictates that you do other things, because you got bills and things like that you have to pay. But I still play when I get a chance, and I'm definitely going to put some time in on God of War. And I know, a lot of women say, wow, I can't date no man playing video games. Can you do something more productive with your time? And every time I hear a woman say that, the one question I always asked is, what would you have me doing with my downtime? You know, just because I'm not out in the yard, I don't know, building the kids a tree house, or I'm not doing something that's directly benefiting you, it's unproductive. I've come to the point where I don't think women can stand the fact to see you enjoying yourself. That's what I really believe. I think women can't stand the fact that you're taking some time and you're totally into something more than you would be into them while you're into that thing. Not to say that you're not into them, but they see the way we be into the video games, and sometimes I think they get jealous of the fact that we're into the video games that much, and they can never see us dive deep into them, no pun intended, like we do the video game, especially around when Madden come out, especially when the new NBA 2K, drop. Us guys be like, hey, yo, we got to play that. We're going to be playing this all night the first night it come out. So at heart, we're still big kids, but have adapted, the way we channel our inner kid, and women, you guys are the same way. You just don't do it the way we do it. When the new purses come out, especially when the new perfumes and makeup come out, you guys are the same way. Y'all just do what we do, but you do it in a way that you deem more dignified than playing video games, right? So we all got our things that we're into, so you women do it too. But back to the original thing. Yes, God of War, from everything that I've read, right, it's supposed to be a good game, right? I read from Metacritic, it's getting like 95, it's getting like 10 out of 10 across the board. So I said, okay, I tried my best to stay away from watching footage of it. I tried my best to stay away from watching people commentary of it. I read a little bit about it, but what I went and read was just the backstory about it, because I played every God of War game, even the ones that's on PlayStation Vita. But sometimes you tend to, over the years, you tend to forget how this all came about. So I said I wasn't gonna do no YouTubing or trying to see what anybody's thoughts were. And then I finally got my hands on it and I played it. And I was like, oh my God. The first hour of this game is insane. When I tell you insane, I'm talking about totally insane. The first hour of this game is better than most games, period. Let me repeat that, just so you can kind of understand the scope of what I'm telling you, the scope of what I'm saying to you. The first hour of this game is better than some whole games are. Cause the way they ended that first hour was amazing. And I'm not gonna play spoilers or tell you what really happened. I'm just telling you guys before I move on from this subject that this is a really good game. I'm like 5 hours in, and just when I think it's about to settle into being, routine and maybe mundane, they throw a curveball at you, and you see something that you thought maybe should be at the end of this boss battle, or this fight should be at the end of the game. This one hell of a fight. No, this is an hour 3 after, you it's just amazing. And I'm just telling you, get your hands on it. Don't be closed-minded. Explore the world. It's an open world thing, but it's linear in how it try to get you to go about your business. But just explore, have fun with the game. It's doing something different that the previous God of Wars haven't done. So I'm just telling you guys, enjoy it, have fun with it. You will thoroughly enjoy it, unless you're just one of those type of people who going in just trying to find something wrong with it, going in just want to hate on it, or just want to go against what everybody else is saying as far as them rating it as a good game. You just one of them people just want to go opposite just to go opposite. I mean, I don't know if it's going to level out and become, just a typical God of War game where you start button pressing and things of that nature. But to start it out, it's just not a button presser game. You really got to think about what you're going to do. Got to really formulate how you want to attack people. Got to really formulate how you want to use your son. And I just think it's beautifully done. And that one shot, one game, where they purposely don't take you away from the game, where you feel so totally immersed in the game because you feel like you're a part of the story. You feel like it's an emotional story that's being told between a father and a son. And I know y'all saying this fool done went crazy talking about this about a video game, but I'm just trying to tell y'all, don't knock it until you try it. People said that about The Last of Us, and everybody universally agreed that The Last of Us was the best game to ever hit PlayStation 3. And then to this day, everybody still say that's the best told story as far as a game go. It was a very emotional game. And I know you women just don't understand what we saying, but if you had somebody who could just walk you through this and just let you go through the story, I promise you halfway through the game, you'll be saying, wow, take the gameplay out. This could have been a movie. That's how well written and well thought out and well put together The Last of Us was. And I'm not equating God of War to The Last of Us, because The Last of Us was his own thing. It was just his own great piece of work. I'm just saying that it seems like they took a little bit from every successful game and put it in God of War. They took storytelling from like The Last of Us. They took a little gameplay from like Dark Souls. They took like finish him, combo from Mortal Kombat. They took scale wise from Shadow of the Colossus. It just seems like they went and took some of the best qualities of a lot of good games and put them all together and brought you a good masterpiece in God of War. Now, this is what I'm saying, only 5 hours in. Now, maybe they say the game is like 4 to 4 hours long. So, I'll check back with me after I get, maybe 10 hours in, and it started to become, feeling like, okay, I'm doing the same thing over and over and over. But I'm telling you, they have done a really good job so far with me being 4.5, almost 5 hours in, not being mundane and routine. I give them credit for that. This game is so long, right? That they say this game is longer, than the 3 previous God of Wars combined. Put that in perspective. I could start playing God of War 1, 2, and 3 and beat all 3 of those games from top to bottom, side missions include, before you finish God of War 4. Think about that. Think about how far technology has come since they originally came out with the first God of War. Think about how far technology has come since PlayStation 2. Think about how far technology has come since PlayStation 3, and now we're on the 4. And they saying that all 3 of those first games is not as long as this 4th game. So that kind of helps you put it in perspective to tell you, what scale this game is on, what scale that they was trying to reach with this game. All right. That's enough of that. I'm gonna come up out my nerd mode for a minute, as some women like to call it, but I wouldn't call it that. I'm just a guy who passionate about playing video games. I'm a guy who passionate about the people right to play video games, and I can't stand people who try to judge people for playing video games. It's the same equivalent if you had another hobby. You got people who love to sit around at coffee shops and talk about politics, but he's like, if that's what you do, then that's what you do. You got people that collect baseball cards, coins, and stamps and all type of things, and people say, oh, okay, that's neat. But soon as a woman hear that he likes to play video games, they automatically put you in a category like you living with your mom in your mom's basement just because you play a video game. I don't understand how over the years playing video games have transcended into meaning that you're some type of bum, no good, nay dweller or something. I just don't know how did it get to that point, I mean, that's just like if a guy said all she is into is makeup, then we go, ugh, makeup. Like that's what we should start doing. We should start saying all the women that all they want to do is talk about makeup, do Facebook Live and about makeup, and go to the makeup counters and go to these, makeup shows and things like that. We should start looking at them the way that the women look at men who say they play video games. That's how we should do it to equal that out. All right, I'm a leave that particular subject right there. I just want to say that I was excited for God of War, and it had so much hype, coming out, because originally it got pushed back. And I'm telling you, I'm glad they pushed it back, because it seemed like whatever they did to buy themselves more time, they made the game more polished, and it's just one awesome hell of a game. So if you guys are out there and you listen, I definitely recommend pick this game up. You will not be disappointed, And another game I recommend too is a game called The Way Out. If you got a buddy that you play with and you guys haven't checked that out, check that out. It's a really great story, and you guys get to play the whole game side by side with each other. No takeaway, no anything. It's a great game. All right, we're going to end that little portion, then we're going to get back to the regularly scheduled program, which is the Random Select Podcast right here on Atlanta's new underground station, Beat Break 87 FM, where music and talk radio live. You're listening to Mario inside the Random Select Podcast. It's a podcast that's all about thought-provoking talk. Also, in the next segment, I just wanted to let you guys know, put up a really quick scenario real quick, just to see if you guys could relate to this. And then I guess I'm asking this to the women. What if you had a husband, he died, but he left you $5 million, right? But at the day of the funeral, when you are going to lay your husband to rest, another woman walk into the funeral with 2 children and come up to you and say, hey, look, your husband died, but I'm his mistress, his side chick. Just want to let you know, these are his 2 kids right here. And we're going through some financial hardship. I'm about to lose my house. My kids don't have a place to stay. And I really need your help. Now, your husband had left you $5 million, and I'm asking you women, what would you do? Would you not help the lady? Would you just say, we can't prove this, those kids, I don't care what he did? The question is, what would you do? And we'll talk about that coming up after the break. All right, you're listening to the Random Select Podcast with Mario. It's the podcast that's all about thought-provoking talk right here on Beat Break 87 FM, Atlanta's new underground station where music and talk radio lives. And I will definitely catch you guys after the break.
This is Atlanta's new underground station.
How you doing? This is Wood Harris.
Hi, this is Jasmine Guy.
What's going on in Atlanta? This is Clifton Powell.
Hey guys, it's Niecy Nash from TV Land's The Soul Man.
This is Cat Williams.
Check this out. This is your boy RL from NEXT.
Hey everybody, it's your girl Lunel.
What's up, ATL? It's your girl Ken of Atlantic Records.
Hi, I'm Taraji P. Henson.
WBS 87 Atlanta, WAEN FM Atlanta, WBHH, and on iHeartRadio, home of the Beat Break Morning Show with Sean Garvey, DJ Rollum, and the Wake Up Ladies. Beat Break 87 FM, where music and talk radio lives. Streaming online at BeatBreakRadioFM.com.
A Reach One communications station.
Download the TuneIn app to hear Beat Break 87 FM on your mobile device and listen to the Beat Break Morning Show. Weekday mornings only on Beat Break 87 FM, where music and talk radio lives.
What's up, ATL? Make sure that you check out the D Here Radio Show on Beat Break 87 and BeatBreakRadioFM.com.
Tune your radio.
Tune in
now.
You can tune into this radio station on any smartphone or tablet.
iPhone,
Android,
BlackBerry,
Nokia,
Samsung,
Windows phones,
or whatever you have. Download the free TuneIn app from your phone or tablet's app store.
Tune in with music, sports, news, and comedy
from over 70,000 radio stations around the world. Check it out at TuneIn.com
or your app store.
Hey world, it's your man Precise. And I have great news. The Precise Music app is finally available for your iPhone, Android, and BlackBerry through Amazon and other app stores. That's Precise Music. Music is spelled with a Z. Go get it for all things Precise. Powered by BlackVibes.com. I tried to put it off, but I can't. It's on me. Tried to blame the other man, but I can't. It's on me. Stay in tune. That's Precise Music. Music is spelled with a Z.
We specialize in creating mobile apps for the entertainment industry. Go to bvmobileapps.com, click Get Started Now, create your account, choose your package, upload your content, and click Submit. BV Mobile Apps. Make it easy. Make it mobile.
Listen to Beat Break 87 FM on the go. Download the Beat Break 87 FM app from the app marketplace, including Amazon, Google Play, and the App Store. View photos, videos, and Beat Break 87 shows on your mobile device. Download the Beat Break 87 FM app now for free.
He has performed on stage in front of thousands of poetry lovers. He has sold out shows and rocked the crowd with the best poets in the industry. Welcome to the stage, spoken word artist Patrick Duncan, better known as the Preacher Man.
I am Benjamin Keith Montgomery. I invented a vote for God. I am the former president of South Africa, Nelson Mandela.
Critically acclaimed spoken word artist, poet, writer, and the creator of Black on Purpose poetry TV series Wordplay. Patrick the Preacher Man Duncan is coming to a venue near you.
Why is the only time we can come together as a nation is when there are acts of insanity, chaos, or devastation.
Stay tuned to Beat Break 87 FM for updates on Patrick Duncan's upcoming arrival to your city. Visit cdbaby.com/CD/Patrick S. Duncan to order his latest album, What's Going On. Available online, including CD Baby and iTunes.
I want this high and have no affiliation to a political party. I want this high to be spiritual.
For more info, go to BeatBreakRadioFM.com.
Right now, Beat Break Radio is taking it to the streets to find out what's happening in your city.
Hello, I'm Amber Lyons, CEO and founder of From Pain to Purpose. Come out on Saturday, May the 19th from 4 to 8 p.m. and join us as we celebrate the youth in our community at our Healing Pains Through the Arts Teen Spotlight Awards. We're shining a spotlight on our youth who have overcome life's adversities and they're using their gifts and talents to inspire others. Meet us at Green Forest Community Baptist Church, 3250 Rainbow Drive, Decatur, Georgia. Search for tickets now on Eventbrite under Healing Pain Through the Arts Teen Spotlight Awards. Thank you.
We're always taking it to the streets on Atlanta's new underground station, Beat Break 87 FM, where music and talk radio lives.
Wake up weekday mornings to the Beat Break Morning Show and nod your head in bed to the 360 Mix Show. Weeknights on Atlanta's new underground station, Beat Break 87 FM, where music and talk radio lives. WBS 87 Atlanta, WAEN FM Atlanta, WBHH, and on iHeartRadio, the home of the Beat Break Morning Show with Sean Garvey, DJ Rollum, and the Wake Up Ladies. This is Atlanta's new underground station, Beat Break 87 FM, where music and talk radio lives. Streaming online at BeatBreakRadioFM.com. The views and opinions expressed on this program does not necessarily reflect those of Beat Break 87 FM, Reach One Communications, volunteers, staff, and management of Reach One Communications.
This portion of Beat Break Radio is only suitable for mature audiences and not suitable for young audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
Are you listening? Damn. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back into another episode of the Random Select Podcast. It's the podcast that's all about thought-provoking talk. I am your host, Mario, right here on Atlanta's new underground station, Beat Break 87 FM, where music and talk radio lives. Guys, feel good to be back in the saddle. I was under the weather last week, but I'm back. And as always, guys, if you're liking the show, like what I'm bringing to the table, like what Beat Break Radio is bringing to the table, please share. Let everybody know that we're out here. Let everybody know that we're doing something positive. You can always go to BeatBreakRadioFM.com for all the latest things going on in the community. Click on the links. It'll get you to where you need to be. Catch us on TuneIn Radio. Catch us on iHeartRadio on speaker. Click that listen now button. It'll bring you right into the Random Select Podcast. And don't forget, guys, the show does re-air from 10 to 12 p.m. Monday through Friday. Don't know how long that's going to be in effect, but until it's not, please enjoy if you're missing the show right now. Also, just want to say it's been great to see the weather finally getting back warm around here. You know, time for old man Winters to go on about his business and let spring come on out. We definitely need this heat, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, let's get this thing warm. Let's get the A back to being hot, Atlanta. And I kind of wanted to talk to you guys today about past relationships, past people that was in your life that probably has come and gone. But I kind of want to talk about that one person that you felt got away, that one person that you felt maybe should have been yours, and for whatever reason it didn't work out. For whatever reason you guys fell apart, or just time. They met somebody, you met somebody, but you always had that nagging feeling in the back of your mind that you guys should have been together. That's kind of what I want to talk about today, because a lot of us tend to make decisions and do things based upon what's going on in our life at the particular time. And sometimes when you have that, you don't realize that you think you're making the right decision, but you're not, because we tend to make decisions based on logic. I mean, a lot of us do. And sometimes we don't let our heart make those decisions. And sometimes our heart should be the thing that kind of help make those decisions, but we don't let it, because as I've said in past podcasts, we're just not trained for matters of the heart anymore, because now it's more of a financial thing when we make decisions, or what can a person bring to your life, or what have you done for me lately. It's not necessarily how I'm feeling about a person inside my heart, because sometimes the good people, or the people that you feel strong about, sometimes maybe don't bring all the things to the table that you need them to bring. So therefore sometimes we overlook them, and in the back of your mind or in your heart that these people would have been right for you, but they just wasn't a good fit, because maybe they didn't have the right job, or maybe they just wasn't at a good place at that particular point. When you was ready to settle down, they just wasn't that stable force that you needed for them to be in your life. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to speak on that. And this is brought about because a person that I felt that I could have been with, and maybe should have been with, called me up and told me that they was getting married. Now, I don't understand why after all these years, it still made me feel some type of way. And I really had to sit down and ask myself this question. After all this time, do I still have feelings for this person? Because they telling me that they getting married to somebody that they've only known for 6 months. And I'm like, wow, damn, we was in the thick of things for going on 10 years, and we never could pull the trigger. And most of that was probably me. Now, I'm not going to even say probably. Most of that was me. And in the process of me getting, being with her, I ended up meeting somebody else, ended up getting married and things of that nature. And this been a while back, this is, been married a while and things of that nature, had kids and things of that nature. So you would think that something like this wouldn't affect you, wouldn't make you feel some type of way, because on so many levels it make me feel wrong, because you in a relationship with a person who's giving you their all, or so it would appear, and they think that you're giving them your all, and it was that way, is that way, until now I get this news that she's getting married, and for some reason it's still rubbing me the wrong way. You know what I mean? All these old feelings come back up, and I'm like, ask her, why would you call me and tell me this? But she said, hey, we ain't been together and all this time, it shouldn't matter, we still are friends, because I consider this person like a good friend of mine. But it also makes me wonder, was this person a good friend of mine from a selfish standpoint, like a best friend of mine? But it makes me wonder, was I being selfish? Because as long as she didn't have anybody, I felt I could bounce ideas off of her. I can talk to her about anything, and I feel that person knows me more than anybody, including the person that I'm currently with, you know, because I can, and as strange as this sounds, I could pretty much talk to her about anything. And then sometimes you can't talk to your significant other about certain things without fear of them judging you or seeing you in a different light. But this person never did, you know. And at some point I always felt in the back of my mind and deep in my heart that at some point we would be together, you know. And she felt that way too, that at some point we would be together. But she says she can't wait for me, you know. She got to move on with her life and things of that nature, in which I totally understand, totally get, you know. It makes sense because I never thought about it, you know, like that. I always felt, I guess, selfish, like she would always be there, you know, we would always be there, you know. But once I got that news that she's getting married, you know, to a person who's taken her through so much, you know, has lied to her, cheated on her, and she still feel the need to want to settle down and marry this person. And I'm asking her, you know, what's your overall reasoning for marrying this person? And she tells me she's tired of being alone. She didn't say because I love him or because he brings some financial stability to my world, which is what most people would say these days, which is what most people do. She said simply she's tired of being alone. And I did a podcast a while back which goes into detail and asks the question, do a lot of people, because they're lonely and they're tired of being alone, make bad dating decisions, bad decisions when it comes to dating, because simply they're tired of being alone? They just want someone around. And I told her, if you're feeling that way, get a dog. She said to me jokingly, I've already done that. I've gotten 2 dogs, which she did. She actually had 3, but one was so bad she had to get rid of it. So she got the 3 dogs, and it just don't feel that void of having a mate, which I totally understand, I totally get. But I never thought that it would make me feel this way. I never thought that her throwing me this curveball would still make me get inside my feelings and be like, damn, really, you're getting married? I always thought that if you got married, you know, it would be with me, you know. But once again, I digress. I think realistically and truthfully, if I'm stepping outside myself to have a conversation with myself, that other me would tell me that I'm being selfish. And the whole time that we was in this friendship, I was being selfish because I always thought that she would hold out, you know, for me. And we talked about it, we played around with it. They're saying that, hey, if by this point you're not married, I'm not married, hey, let's go ahead and do it. But over the years, I went along and got a relationship and settled down and had to start having a family because I found someone that, you know, made me feel really good about myself, made me feel good about going forward and starting a family. But on the back burner, I put her. And that's what she told me. She said that you put me on the back burner and you thought I would always be here. But I'm the type of person where I need companionship, and I'm tired of being on the back burner. I want someone who wants to be in my life and love me for me and put me on that front burner. And you can't argue with that. You it's only so many times a person can deal with being number 2. And that's what I always say about side chicks. Yeah, it's cool for the moment because you're getting the very best of the man, because you have to get the very best of the man in order for you to want to stay around. He's got to present to you a package that make you feel like it's all worth it. But at some point, even when you get that package, when you start feeling like he's not around for holidays, birthdays, and all the significant times that most people hang around and be with each other, then you're going to start getting that itch saying that this should be you. Because let's face it, a lot of us men, we confide in our side chicks and our side pieces more than we do the main person that we with. You'll do all the stuff for the main person, like make sure she's taken care of, make sure the bills are paid and taking care of the house and things of that nature. But your innermost you, your inner secretive you, your inner you that maybe your mate, the first person, don't know, you turn the side chick on to that. And sometimes that what keeps the side chick around, because she feels like she's got a part of you that your main chick, wife, girlfriend, or whoever doesn't have. You know what I mean? So sometimes that keeps them around for a little while. But at some point, a normal, typical woman is always going to get that I want to be number one itch. And that's not to say that's a bad thing. That's just to say that's a human thing, where she feels like she needs to be number one. And at some point, she's going to get fed up. And she's going to make that play to put in front of you that, hey, look, you need to make me number one or this is over. And sometimes us men, we feel that, hey, look, you can't put me in a position where you're giving me ultimatums because I'm the one who does the dictating in this relationship. And then that's when you fall into that trap where you don't realize that over time from you spending with her, it just was a physical thing, but you start to develop feelings for the side chick. Even though you got a person at home, you can't stand the thought that maybe she got somebody. Now you're telling her that you're supposed to be my thing, right? But when you got a wife at home, and that's usually that fine line that us men try to walk and try to balance between having somebody at home, having a side piece, and trying to convince the side piece that she should be faithful to you, when the whole premise of what you guys are doing is you not being faithful to her. But that goes back to that old saying that you want your cake and eat it too. Us men who have side pieces want our cake and eat it too. I mean, it's just how that works. It's just how that plays out. And once she told me that she's getting married, I'm telling y'all, it made me feel some type of way. It just took me back and said that, wait, you going against this unwritten rule that we got. You going against this thing that shouldn't be. We said that we were going to kick it and we were going to be each other's best friend. She said, oh, I'll still be your best friend. You're not losing the best friend part of me. You're just losing that part of me that was being foolish. You're losing that part of me that has lost the faith. You're losing that part of me that has no more patience. We'll still be friends. We just won't be friends, on that type of level. And once again, once she said all of that, that's when it all came rushing back to me and made me realize that, you got feelings for this person. You know what I mean? And now you got to try to tell yourself that this is for the best. You got to tell yourself to be happy for this person, that she's finally getting to the point where she got somebody that she feels she could pour herself into, give her all to, and go on with her life and be happy. That's what you got to force yourself to think. You got to force yourself to feel when the selfish part of you that you've been doing for so long is trying to tell you that no, she should be with you. But unfortunately, human nature makes us selfish by nature. And sometimes when you're selfish by nature, you tend to not see things rational. You tend to not see things logical. And logical and rational says you should be happy for her. I just got caught off guard. I got caught blindsided because I never thought that how I felt about her would come rushing back now that I know that part of her is going to be taken off the table, and like I told her, I'm happy for you. I want to congratulate you. Let me know where you guys are going to be registered at, and I'll definitely do my part, whatever you need. I'm down for you. Those are the words that's coming out my mouth, but in my heart, I'm not feeling that way. In my heart, I wish nothing but the worst for this union, for this marriage. That way, when it go bad, I will be that shoulder you have to lean on. I will be that one that comforts you when this go bad. And I know that's just being a terrible human being. That's not being the way that you're supposed to be when it comes to things like that, because at the end of the day, when my turn comes around, I would expect for her to be happy for me, even though she would probably be going through the same thing that I'm going through right now. But I would expect outwardly for her to be happy for me, but inwardly I know she wouldn't be feeling that way. I know she would be going through exactly what I'm going through right now. So I just wanted to put that out there, that's saying that if you got a person in your life and y'all running around in circles playing games when you guys know that you guys should be together. Stop playing those games and go ahead and be together, because one day one of you guys are going to run across somebody that's going to make you feel good, going to make you feel like you're in a good place in your life, and it's going to be ready to take that step. And then the other person that you think you should have been with is going to be on the outside looking in, and that person who's on the outside looking in, it's going to be nobody's fault but your own, because you should have took advantage of the time that you had when you had the chance to take advantage of the opportunity. Because opportunities come and then they go, they fade like the night. So sometimes you only get one shot, one opportunity. Like Eminem said, you got to take advantage of your opportunity. If you only get that one chance, you got to tell yourself, I'm gonna make this one chance one hell of an effort to make sure that me and this person be together. But we live in a world now where we always figure, or we always think that something better is around the corner. And sometimes nothing better is around the corner. Sometimes what you settle for is around the corner, but we think it's better. It wasn't better. It's just that you settled for it. It's just that certain situations fell into place, certain opportunities fell into place, and it all lined up, and it seemed like it was the right move to make. But sometimes it's like looking in the mirror. You know you're the original copy of what you're seeing in the mirror, but because in the mirror it all looks the same, you think it is the same, you know. And mirror is nothing but highly polished glass, you know what I mean, that gives you a reflection of what you are. So sometimes don't take reflections of what you are when you can actually take the real what you are. I know that sounds crazy and it might sound a little confusing, but I'm trying to tell you that when you got somebody and they make you feel good and you feel that you've shared all of who you are with that person, sometimes that's the person for you. When they know who you are from the top to the bottom, inside and out, and still didn't judge you, still want to be around you despite some of your messed up flaws, despite some of the most vile things that you've shared with this person, and you gotta know that they're still around and they still accept you for who you are, then that's the person you should be with. But a lot of times we don't put no value into that. Well, a lot of times that holds no weight because a lot of other things don't add up. We feel we should throw everything out. And sometimes that's just not the best way to be, because when you look back at your life and you look at a few decisions that you made, and I hate to keep referring back to past podcasts, I did a podcast where I said, I know that exact moment where I messed up. I know the exact moments in my life, 3 or 4 decisions that I wish that I could take back. I would take back, because I know those are the moments where I went wrong. And this is going to be one of those things where you look back at yourself and you say to yourself, this is that moment where I went wrong. This is the moment where I let a person get away that I know could have been right for me, should have been right for me, and would be right for me. But as humans, for some reason, we just let what's supposed to be and the promise of what's supposed to be, kind of clash. We take what we know to be true and we discard it for what we think might be true or what we hope to be true, and we take that and we put all our energy into dreams and promises, and we totally discard what we know to be right here in our face in reality. And as humans, we do it a lot. You don't realize that you do it, but we do. And if you think back over your life, you can remember a few times where you made some decisions where it seemed like it was the right thing to do, because we got caught watching the glittery stuff, when the stuff that's just normal, that maybe doesn't have all that shine to it, it would have been the best thing for you. Because they say a worker is only as good as his tools, right? We got good, steady, trusted tools that we sometimes disregard because we're always looking for the next thing that come out, the next great tech, next great inventions that's supposed to make our life easier. But instead, we got these tools that we know that has been tried and true and work and gets the job done. But we have no faith in those tools. We always looking for better tools. It is nothing wrong with looking for better tools as long as they get the job done. But beware of the tools that you got that's already good, as opposed to this 1999 tool. Because you guys know this. We've seen the commercial. We all old enough to know that some of the most miraculous things in this world that's supposed to change the world, that's supposed to be the best thing ever come down the pike, is only $19.99, right? Revolutionary. But it's so revolutionary that changed the world that not only is it $19.99, but if you call right now and you act, we'll send you 2 of these for $19.99. Just pay a separate processing handling. And that's what relationships are like. We're constantly chasing this revolutionary $19.99 thing that we could potentially get 2 if we pay a separate processing and handling, instead of going with the one thing that we've been through wars with, we've been in the trenches with, and we know that every time this tool has never failed you. But we constantly searching for the 1999 tool. And the 1999 tool is the thing that's supposed to revolutionize the world, right? A couple months after you purchase this $19.99 and you decide, hey, this is so cool, I'm gonna get the 2 for $19.99. You see that same thing in the dollar store, and it says, as seen on TV. And now you got 2 of them for $19.99, and you can walk right in the dollar store and get it for $1 now. You see what I'm saying? And that's how relationships are. You that one thing you thought you wanted and you was chasing, it turned out it had no value to your life whatsoever. It added no value to who you are as a person, and it added no value when you guys got together as a union, because it was a fly-by-night type of thing. But we thought it was going to revolutionize our life. Therefore, we decided to just make it a part of our lives. And some things should never have entered your world, let alone for you to even consider trying it, But then we always have to discard that new thing and work our way back to the old trusted tool that has never let us down. And that's how this was. When she told me she was getting married, I felt like I needed to work my way back to the old trusted tool. The tool that has always gotten the job done, that has always been steady and balanced and never let me down. But now I can't use that tool. That tool is going to be placed into another person's toolbox. It's going to be a tried and trusted tool for that person. When I had it. All I had to do was just continue to have faith in the tool, continue to take care of the tool, and the tool will take care of me. So now I'm left without a great tool, and I'm still trying to be a worker. And that's pretty much all I really gotta say about that. I'm just saying, if you got somebody and they good for your life, good to your life and good to you, make sure you invest a little time in trying to make sure you see where that go before you totally abandon it. Because sometimes we give up on stuff way too early, way too soon, because sometimes we so focused on the small picture that we can't see the big picture. We've gotten so used to watching Netflix on our phones that we don't realize Netflix and all that stuff looks so much better on your TV, because it's a big picture. So we get so convoluted now with the small picture that the big picture seems inconvenient. It's not worth it. But I'm here to tell you the big picture is totally worth it. All right, guys, I'm gonna leave that right there. We're going into the break. You're listening to Mario, and this is the Random Select Podcast. It's the podcast that's all about thought-provoking talk right here on Atlanta's new underground station, Beat Break 87 FM, where music and talk radio lives. Catch you guys after the break. We're gonna get into some more things. We're gonna talk about God of War. It's out, so stay tuned, guys.
Atlanta's new underground station, Beat Break 87 FM, where music and talk radio lives.
Hi, this is Clifford English, your host and producer of The Gospel Train. Join me every Sunday right here on Beat Break 87 FM radio. You will be encouraged, you will be equipped, You will be educated, you will be entertained, all while hearing the best in gospel music. Don't miss your connection with the gospel train right here on Beat Break 87 FM Radio. BeatBreakRadioFM.com.
We specialize in creating mobile apps for the entertainment industry. Go to bvmobileapps.com, click Get Started Now, create your account, choose your package, upload your content, and click Submit. BV Mobile Apps. Make it easy. Make it mobile.
Hey world, it's your man Precise, and I have great news. The Precise Music app is finally available for your iPhone, Android, and BlackBerry through Amazon and other app stores. That's Precise Music. Music is spelled with a Z. Go get it for all things Precise. Powered by BlackVibes.com. Stay in tune. That's Precise Music. Music is spelled with a Z.
He has performed on stage in front of thousands of poetry lovers. He has sold out shows and rocked the crowd with the best poets in the industry. Welcome to the stage, spoken word artist, Patrick Duncan, better known as the Preacher Man.
I am Benjamin P. Montgomery. I invented a goat propeller. I am the former president of South Africa, Nelson Mandela.
Critically acclaimed spoken word artist, poet, writer, and the creator of Black on Purpose poetry TV series Wordplay. Patrick the Preacher Man Duncan is coming to a venue near you.
Why is the only time we can come together as a nation is when there are acts of insanity, chaos, or devastation.
Stay tuned to Beat Break 87 FM for updates on Patrick Duncan's upcoming arrival to your city. Visit cdbaby.com/CD/Patrick S. Duncan to order his latest album, What's Going On. Available online, including CD Baby and iTunes.
I want this high to have no affiliation to a club or party. I want this high to be spiritual.
For more info, go to BeatBreakRadioFM.com.
Right now, Beat Break Radio is taking it to the streets to find out what's happening in your city.
Hello, I'm Amber Lyons, CEO and founder of From Pain to Purpose. Come out on Saturday, May the 19th from 4 to 8 p.m. and join us as we celebrate the youth in our community at our Healing Pains Through the Arts Teen Spotlight Awards. We're shining a spotlight on our youth who have overcome life's adversities and they're using their gifts and talents to inspire others. Meet us at Green Forest Community Baptist Church, 3250 Rainbow Drive, Decatur, Georgia. Search for tickets now on Eventbrite under Healing Pain Through the Arts Teen Spotlight Awards. Thank you.
We're always taking it to the streets on Atlanta's new underground station, Beat Break 87 FM, where music and talk radio lives.
When it comes to hip-hop,
Don't stop.
R&B, and talk radio, no one does it better than Beat Break 87 FM.
This segment is brought to you by Patrick S. Duncan's latest spoken word project, What's Going On? Enjoy thought-provoking poetry by spoken word artist himself, Patrick S. Duncan. Visit cdbaby.com/CD/Patrick S. Duncan and order your copy today. What's Going On is also available on iTunes.
This portion of Beat Break Radio is only suitable for mature audiences and not suitable for young audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
All right, guys, welcome back in from the break. You're inside the Random Select Podcast. It's the podcast that's all about thought-provoking talk, and I am your host, and we're right here on Atlanta's new underground station, Beat Break 87 FM, where music and talk radio lives. And people, once again, let people know we're out here. Let people know that we're out here. You can go to BeatBreakRadioFM.com, click on the links, and it'll take you where you need to be. And you can also go to TheRandomSelect.com, where you can listen to some of the past blogs, and listen to some of the inspirational vlogs and read some of the blogs. So with that being said, let me just jump right into what we're going to be talking about this particular segment. Now, in the last segment, I segued into a hypothetical scenario that I put out there, you know, and in between the break, I went to social media, went to Facebook, put it out there, and I found a lady said that ironically she had a situation that was similar to this. Not a quite this, but it was similar to it, and she said she wanted to talk about it. And I was like, well, I got a couple minutes before I go back on there. You want to try to hook up? You want to get this on? And she was like, yeah, let's get it on. Let's talk about it. I'm really serious. I want to let people know that things like this are really happening out there. You know, and she was like, well, can you provide a little anonymity to me? I said, sure, let's do it. Let's make it happen. Let's tell the story. So let me set it up real quick for you guys. I asked the question, what if your husband just recently died and he left you $5 million and you were at the funeral and this lady walks in, introduces herself to you and says that she's his side chick, his mistress, and he has 2 kids with her. And right now she's on financial hardship. She's losing her home, her house, her cars. And she was wondering, could you help her out? Now you got to remember, you just got $5 million from your husband passing, right? And the question is, would you help her out? Would you help the kids out? What would you do? Would it be the Christian thing to help her out? Would you be like, screw her? You know, I just found out my husband been cheating on me and I don't give a damn if he do have kids, even though your other kids that you have, looking at them like that's our brother and sister, you know, things of that nature. So the question is, what would you do? And I actually ran across somebody who says that she has had this particular situation happen to her, and she's definitely willing to go on tape and on the radio and talk about it. So I want to get ready to introduce you guys to Stephanie. She's the person that this is about, and of course, because it's of the sensitive nature of this and of how people may be listening and people in her area, you know, she don't want everybody to know this. You know, we changed her name, but the situation and what she went through was still real nevertheless. She had to lay her husband to rest, and on the same day she was laying her husband to rest, she had to get this bomb dropped on her. So I want to introduce you guys to Stephanie. Stephanie, tell everybody, say hi to everybody and tell everybody a little bit about you, Stephanie. And I think this is a very fascinating story, and we're going to get it going. All right, Stephanie.
Hi, I'm Stephanie, and I'm doing just fine. A little bit about myself. I'm from Portland, Oregon, and this situation sort of similar, close to happened to me. And when I saw you posted up, I just said I had to get on this particular show because people don't understand that things like this are really happening to people. And I just think it's very important that we, you know, get a chance to talk about it and say what's really going on. And I have 2 kids, and the situation that happened to me was similar. She had 2 kids as well, but I never knew that my husband of 18 years was living a double life like that. And the thing about it is we live in such a little small area that you would have think that we would have come across paths at some point. But it's apparent that she knew about me, but I didn't know about her. So, sad to say that my husband did pass away. And when he passed away, he did leave some money, but I guess she found wind of that, or I guess that in their pillow talk time or whenever they hung out, he told her what was going on with his private affairs. And that's how she knew that some money was there. And I guess she could just look up, you know, the funeral homes or look at his obituary or something like that to see when he was going to be laid to rest. And then she showed up at the funeral, and she said that, you know, told me what her name was. She asked because she talked to me privately about my husband. And I said, okay, you know, this is maybe not the best time. I'm trying to lay my husband to rest. And she said that it won't take long. And she explained to me who she was, and she said that she has been his mistress for over 15 years, which means that 3 years after we got married, he started having her around. And I have a 17-year-old, and I have a 14-year-old. And she has a 14-year-old and a 12-year-old. And as you see, all the times correlate. So naturally, I was defensive about what this was. I was really defensive, and I couldn't understand why would you bring this to me now, because I'm really hurt, because in my mind, I've never known this man to be nothing but honest and trustworthy and truthful to me. But when she started naming things, dates, facts, figures, and things that only me and the person who shared those moments with him could know, I knew that she was telling the truth. She just knew way too many intimate details about things, way too many dates, facts, and figures, and people, and thing where only someone that was deep into my husband's world would know this. She even knew his favorite food. She even knew what time he went to lunch, what he liked for lunch, where he worked, where he liked to go for lunch. She even knew how many miles his car had on it, when it needed to be serviced, because all the things that I wasn't able to do for my husband, she provided for him. I mean, in all honesty, she was his second wife, because all the things that I used to wonder how he was getting done and work so much. And I would say, when were you going to get the car looked at or get the car serviced? He said, oh, it's taken care of. And I used to always wonder how he did it. He used to always, hire my kids' tutors. And they would say, oh, Miss Lori tutored us. And every time they needed a tutor, it was the same person who tutored them. And come to find out, she was the kids' tutor as well. She knew my kids knew her. But not in that capacity. It was always the tutor whenever my kids needed something, needed some work done. So it was just a weird time for me,
Okay, so now she's at the funeral. She's pulled you to the side, and she's explained to you that she's the mistress, and she has 2 kids for your husband. At that particular moment, I guess you were in shock, and you just felt like this is some TV stuff. It couldn't be happening to you. At this particular point, what's going through your mind? And once you came to the conclusion that you believe it, where did you guys go from there? And what did she want from you? What was the purpose of her doing this?
Well, there were several things that I was feeling, I thought I got over the initial shock, and I just can't believe that she would come to my husband's funeral and say these type of things. I thought it was a real cruel, sick joke at first. Then, my sister came over to me and she saw me crying, and she was like, it's going to be okay. And I said, I'm not crying because of that. I'm crying because this woman just came in and told me that she was his mistress and she has 2 kids for him. So she went back over and sat down. She didn't cause a commotion or a ruckus or anything like that. She went over, his friends, and everybody said things about her. Said everybody, all his friends said things about him. They had all good, kind words to say about him, and we went on like everything was cool, but people don't understand. I was crying on both sides inside. Both of my heart was ripped in two, because on the left side of my heart, I was crying because my husband of 18 years had passed away. But on the other side of my heart, I am crying because my husband of 18 years who had passed away was not the man that he portrayed himself to be. Not the man that I knew him to be or his kids knew him to be, And one of the other things why I knew this was true, one of his friends, when he went up to talk about him, caught a glance at her, and it literally froze him in his tracks. He couldn't get out what he was going to say about my husband, because that's when I realized he knew her. When you look at someone like that and it just frees you and stops you like that, because I guess he couldn't believe the sheer audacity that she was there, so I guess that's what made everything come into focus for me and made me realize that this is real, this is happening, and and that's pretty much what happened. And as far as what she wanted, that's a whole nother story that I can talk about. She told me that they had a business together. She was keeping up his financial books, and they had plans, and she wanted to make sure that he saw his plans through that he had with her. And I was like, what plans? I had no clue as to what she was talking about,
So she showed up to the funeral let's go back. All right, you're already in the mourning mode. You're mourning the loss, the death of your husband. And that's where you pretty much thought that everybody who knowed him, cared for him, or loved him would be. Then she shows up, not necessarily in the mourning mode. She showed up in business sense, saying that they had plans to do things together, and she expect you to honor those things that your husband had said or put into place that they were going to do. And she was expecting now that she know that you got he left you some money, didn't leave her anything. She expected you to follow through on your husband's promises to her to start these businesses and do all these different things. And that's what you're saying. That's how she pretty much came at you. I mean, I won't interrupt anymore. Go ahead and just tell the story, and we'll if there's time left, I'll chime in from there. But I think this is a really interesting thing to encounter at your husband's funeral, and in more ways than one. It was kind of shocking and life-changing in two different ways, All right, so go ahead and finish up the story.
It was devastating on both fronts, because I kept thinking, I know good and well this bitch, excuse the language, but this bitch didn't come in here while I'm trying to lay my husband to rest, my kid's father, my everything. But at the same time, if I'm being honest with myself, the truth is that she opened up my eyes and let me see that the life I thought I was living, the life I thought I was leading, was nowhere near close to as perfect or as fairy tale as I had once thought. All my friends and my family always thought that I had the perfect man, said that he's paying the bills, he's taking care of the kids involved in their lives, and he's allowing me to go back to school and become whatever I wanted to become, and all on his dime. Everybody thought that I had, Prince Charming. And, well, it goes back to that old saying that sometimes when things are too good to be true, then it's probably is too good to be true. And I don't want to say that he was a bad man, because he never spoke ill against me. He never beat our children, beat me, or anything like that. I mean, my God, he was everything that you could want in a man. But he just had a secret life. And I give him credit. He did a damn good job to hide his life from me, to not bring that hurt and that pain to my doorstep. And do I be mad at him? Yes, I'm a little upset. I was a little hurt, but also I started looking at things different. He loved me enough and he cared enough not to disrespect me by having that other world spill over into my world. Even though by having the kids being tutored by her, it did spill into my world. But he chose wisely. He chose the right woman where she didn't decide to step out of place, step out of pocket, and didn't know her place. She knew her role, and she played her role very well. And as time went on, I had come to admire that about her, because at any given moment, she could have decided she just want to spit venom to my kids, or talk negatively about me to my kids, or talk negatively about their father to my kids, and then I would have to hear about this from the babysitter. But no, that was no such thing. Later on, I went back to my kids because they're older, and I asked, about the tutor, and that's all they referred to as tutor, as the tutor. They never thought anything else. It would be days where they didn't want to go, and then I thought maybe she was doing something bad to them, or maybe she was mistreating them, but they didn't want to go because it was just a tutor. They didn't want to go because they wanted to be kids and out doing things other than doing their schoolwork. So it wasn't because she was harming them or doing anything against them. I come to realize that over time. So when we got at the end of the funeral, she came up to me again and she said, "Hey, look, I know this is a difficult situation." And she said, "I know you don't believe this, but I'm hurting inside too. Because whatever he was to you, he was that to me as well. And to know that he's gone is tearing me up on the inside. But one of the things he taught me was to, even in the face of adversity, even in the face of some tragedy, you take your time, you mourn, but you get your head back into the game and you continue on with business." And when she said that to me, I said everything she's saying is the truth, because I've heard him say that at least 1,000,000 times. So I let everybody go out to church, and I held everything up, and I said, "Sit down, let's talk. What do you want from me? What do you expect me to do in a situation like this?" That's what I asked her. What do you want from me? What am I supposed to do? And she sat down and she said, "Look, I know this is difficult. It's difficult for everybody involved, all parties involved, the kids. I know that you have those 2 kids, I have these 2 kids. He has 4 kids that they need to be taken care of." And she said, now that he's gone, I think they should get to know each other because they're blood. Yes, it came out of a messed up, unfortunate situation, but it is what it is. We are where we are at. And I'm saying this woman is talking to me like she's some type of grief counselor. She's talking to me like we know each other, like we're friends, like we're victims in this same tragedy. And I wanted to stand up and tell her, "Get the hell out of here. You're not a part of this family. You don't know me. You don't know my struggle. You don't know what I've been through. You are not a victim in this. I am the victim. Damn it, please just let me be the victim." That's what my heart was saying, but my mind truly understood that she was a victim too. And she said that he left some money, and she explained in detail where the money was at, who could have access to it, how much it was. She knew everything. And all she said, "I don't want to split it half because I don't deserve half. You are his wife. You deserve the majority of it. I just need enough to put back into our business and keep the businesses running." That's what she said to me. She wasn't trying to be greedy. She said, I don't really need you to take care of these kids because that's my responsibility. I knew what I was signing up for. And once I found out that he had a wife, I cussed him out. I told him that I didn't want to see him anymore. I told him that I didn't want him in my life because he was a no good, lying coward. But all those things I told him, it was a lie, because at that particular time it was way too late. I had fallen in love with him, and I'm pretty sure you understand what I'm talking about, what type of man he was. He had this way about him that made you feel like you were safe and you were secure and that no harm would come to you. And if it did, he would stand right in front of that harm and protect you. And that's how he made me feel. And even though I knew logic and common sense told me, begged me, and pleaded with me to not be in this relationship, not do this. But logic and common sense had no place, and it just got overruled by love and how he made me feel and how he backed up making me feel by his actions. Do you know what it's like to have someone tell you how they feel about you, then back it up and show you how they feel about you? How they feel about you, what they tell you with their mouth, and how they actually feel about you, and they show you with their action when those match up. That's a rare thing. And it made me feel so loved, so wanted, so appreciated, that I thought, wow, I'm going to be honest with you, I just didn't even care anymore. Because he was just that type of a man. And when she said that to me, all these emotions came running back. All these emotions just came flooding out my heart, out my spirit, out my soul. Because, once again, I knew she spoke the truth. And I just wanted to stand up and just fight and cuss and call her every bitch, whore, slut, homewrecker, whoremonger. I wanted to call her every name in the book. Because that's how I felt truly in my heart. But once again, the logical part of me just would not let me do it, because I knew she was telling the truth, because everything she said is totally how I felt. Totally how he made me feel. So at this point, I'm holding up the funeral. Everybody's heading over to where they can lay him to rest. I'm supposed to get in the limo. I'm supposed to just be in there with my family, with my sister and my mom and things of that nature, and my kids. So I got out. I told her to come with me, her and her 2 kids. And I asked my mom and my sister to catch a ride with my brother. I asked them to get out the limo. And I asked her and her 2 kids to get in. Not because I felt afraid. Not because... honestly, I don't know why I did it. But a part of me just felt that they belong. Because when that woman said those things about my husband, talked the way about him the way she did, it's the same exact way if I was talking to someone about him. That's the same exact way I would have talked about him. And that's how come I know it was real. That's how come I know every word she spoke was the truth. Because let's face it, as women, sometimes we could connect with some other women. We don't always do it, but sometimes through pain and tragedy, you can look into somebody's eyes, look past who they are, and look right into their soul and know that they're telling the truth. Some pain is so powerful that a lie couldn't force its way past that pain if it wanted to. That's why I couldn't stand up and call her a bitch, a whore, slut, because that would be the lie that would be trying to force its way through my pain. And it couldn't. So my mom asked me, who are these people? Who is that lady? And I said, Mom, I will explain it to you later, but right now this is the right thing to do. This has to be done. And as she approached the car, she started to cry. And I'm sorry, I'm getting a little emotional here. As she approached the car, she started to cry. And then the one thing that totally ripped my heart out, totally just still to this day do something to me. I heard that little girl ask, Mommy, why is Daddy in the box? Mommy, is Daddy not coming home again? And then she said something that I will never ever forget. She said that don't he love his little Willow? And that's the same thing he calls my daughter, Willow. And even if I had just a shred of doubt, even though I didn't, even if I would have had just a shred of doubt, that would have just sealed the deal. And then my daughter stepped up, grabbed that little girl's hand, and said, my dad calls me Willow too. I'm sorry, and we all just cried. Because it was a really messed up situation that we all just trying to make the best out of it. So we got into the car and we just rode to the burial site. we just watched them put, and this is going to be the first time I've said this out loud. I've said this to anyone. We watched them put our husband in the ground. And I know somebody's going to criticize me, and I know people are going to hate me for saying our, but it's true. Let's not lie about it. He was as much hers as he ever was mine. And that's just the truth of the matter. We watched them put our husband into the ground. So, from that point forward, I vowed that I was going to help her. I was going to do right by her, because even in this tragedy, our husband was a stand-up guy. He would always do the right thing no matter what, which is ironic. Him cheating on me was not the right thing. But in any other situation, he would do the right thing. So I found out what businesses they had together and the partnerships they had. And I became her partner in business. I became her kid's godmother. She became my kid's godmother. After all, they were brothers and sisters. But it doesn't go without saying. Let me just tell you guys that I did have DNA testing done. And it came back 99.99999% positive that those were his kids. And she showed me pictures and things of all the times when he was supposedly on business trips and vacations where he was with her. And all the times that he told her that he was on business trips and vacations, he was with me. So, this is a tale just to let you know that this does happen. He lived a totally different world. And those two worlds was only 10 minutes apart. It's almost like he purposely chose for them to be in different school districts so they would never cross. He chose different places and different type of business so they would never cross with the businesses that we ran. I mean, he was almost the perfect bastard, if you really want to put it like that. He was the perfect bastard. So, just letting you guys know that things like this do happen on I don't know if it's a regular basis, but things like this do happen. And we've been partners in business for over 5 years now. We've expanded the business. We've made it grow. When we've both become very wealthy women. That's why I would appreciate it if you protect my anonymity. And I just want to say thank you for letting me get this off my chest. I never realized how good it would make me feel to get it off my chest. And I've never really talked about it with someone. So, I want to thank you for inviting me on the Random Select podcast and doing this. You just don't know how therapeutic this is for me. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming on. I mean, we definitely appreciate it. For coming on, telling such a powerful, personal story that shows you how triumph can come from tragedy, you know? And don't be a stranger, be a friend of the show. I would love to call on you to pick your brain about different things, you know, and I truly appreciate it. All right, guys, we're up against the break. We want to thank Stephanie for expressing herself and joining the Random Select podcast with a very powerful story, a very powerful journey of how just triumph can come out of tragedy, you know. You're listening to the Random Select podcast. It's the podcast that's all about thought-provoking talk right here on Atlanta's new underground station, Beat Break 87 FM, where music and talk radio lives. Catch you guys after the break, and we're going to bring it on home then. All right, guys?
Atlanta's new underground station, Beat Break 87 FM, where music and talk radio lives.
Hi, this is Clifford English, your host and producer of The Gospel Train. Join me every Sunday right here on Beat Break 87 FM radio. You will be encouraged, you will be equipped, you will be educated, you will be entertained, all while hearing the best in gospel music. Don't miss your connection with The Gospel Train right here on Beat Break 87 FM radio. BeatBreakRadioFM.com.
We specialize in creating mobile apps for the entertainment industry. Go to bvmobileapps.com, click Get Started Now, create your account, choose your package, upload your content, and click Submit. BV Mobile Apps. Make it easy. Make it mobile.
Hey world, it's your man Precise, and I have great news. The Precise Music app is finally available for your iPhone, Android, and BlackBerry through Amazon and other app stores. That's Precise Music. Music is spelled with a Z. Go get it for all things Precise. Powered by BlackVibes.com. Stay in tune. That's Precise Music. Music is spelled with a Z.
He has performed on stage in front of thousands of poetry lovers. He has sold out shows and rocked the crowd with the best poets in the industry. Welcome to the stage, spoken word artist, Patrick Duncan, better known as the Preacher Man.
I am Benjamin P. Montgomery. I invented a boat propeller. I am the former president of South Africa, Nelson Mandela!
Critically acclaimed spoken word artist, poet, writer, and the creator of Black on Purpose poetry TV series Wordplay. Patrick the Preacher Man Duncan is coming to a venue near you.
Why is the only time we can come together as a nation is when there are acts of insanity, chaos, or devastation.
Stay tuned to Beat Break 87 FM for updates on Patrick Duncan's upcoming arrival to your city. Visit cdbaby.com/CD/Patrick S. Duncan to order his latest album, What's Going On. Available online, including CD Baby and iTunes.
I want this high to have no affiliation to a political party. I want this high to be spiritual.
For more info, go to BeatBreakRadioFM.com.
Right now, Beat Break Radio is taking it to the streets to find out what's happening in your city.
Hello, I'm Amber Lyons, CEO and founder of From Pain to Purpose. Come out on Saturday, May the 19th from 4 to 8 p.m. and join us as we celebrate the youth in our community at our Healing Pains Through the Arts Teen Spotlight Awards. We're shining a spotlight on our youth who have overcome life's adversities, and they're using their gifts and talents to inspire others. Meet us at Green Forest Community Baptist Church, 3250 Rainbow Drive, Decatur, Georgia. Search for tickets now on Eventbrite under Healing Pain Through the Arts Teen Spotlight Awards. Thank you.
We're always taking it to the streets on Atlanta's new underground station, Beat Break 87 FM, where music and talk radio lives.
When it comes to hip-hop,
Don't stop.
R&B, and talk radio, no one does it better than Beat Break 87 FM.
This segment is brought to you by Patrick S. Duncan's latest spoken word project, What's Going On? Enjoy thought-provoking poetry by spoken word artist himself, Patrick S. Duncan. Visit cdbaby.com/CD/Patrick S. Duncan and order your copy today. What's Going On is also available on iTunes.
This portion of Beat Break Radio is only suitable for mature audiences and not suitable for young audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
Guys, we're back from the break. You're inside the Random Select Podcast. It's the podcast that's all about thought-provoking talk. I am your host, Mario. I definitely hope you guys enjoyed that last segment with Stephanie. It was some powerful stuff, man, just to hear how, she was laying her husband to rest, and then this stranger walk in and pretty much change the course of her life. And that's what it boils down to. And she had to make the best decisions that was right for her life, and she made them, and they turned out well. So it goes to show you that sometimes you think something is going on and then something else happens and bam, what you thought was tragedy turns into a triumph. And we just try to do the very best we can with that, So that's all anybody can ask of a person. That's all anybody can ask, is that you try to make the best of a screwed up situation, All right. We're on the home stretch of the show, guys. We're getting ready to wrap things up. Don't forget, coming up next is the Brass King. It's just a DJ with 2 turntables and an eclectic set. So stay locked for that. And as always, guys, I want to thank you for tuning in to the Random Select Podcast. Whether you're hanging out at your house, you at the gym, getting it in, you stuck in traffic, or you still stuck behind that desk at work, definitely appreciate you guys hanging out. Don't forget to please share. Don't forget to download the Beat Break mobile app, where you can catch the shows on demand. Go to beatbreakradio.com, click the links, and it'll take you to all the places you need to be, get you going, tell you about all the events going on in the community and things of that nature. Don't forget, you can go to therandomselect.com for past podcast episodes, blogs, vlogs, inspirational little tidbits. You can also reach me at randomselect@gmail.com. That's randomselect@gmail.com. We all over social media, guys. In this last segment, I just want to kind of ride out with the fact that my son just turned 14. He just had a birthday, dude, growing up, and it really got me to thinking about how has the world changed since I was 14 compared to now that he's 14. And I was thinking about the things that he have to worry about in today's world was not what we had to worry about in today's world. I can remember when I was 14, and this was in 88. The most important thing in my life at that particular time was, can Hulk Hogan slam Andre the Giant? That's the type of stuff we worried about at 14. That was the biggest thing in our world. Going back to school, we wanted to know no one had ever slammed Andre the Giant, and that was the most pressing thing in my world at the time, and I feel sorry for these kids, because if you want to put that on a scale, and time it, like from 1 to 10 and put it towards stressful, I think Andre, Hulk Hogan slamming Andre the Giant would go under the thing. It'll rank at like a -10. When our kids at 14 today in 2018 have to worry about school shootings, have to worry about their friends killing themselves from depression because of bullying. So in just that little short time, in a lifetime, let's be realistic, let's be honest about it. The whole world has changed. Not just changed in from what the kids have to deal with, just in the basic principles and philosophies from when you were a child to just how people look at things now. I mean, if you think about the world, and as I said, my son has turned 14, and back when I was 14, think about the music. You know what I mean? You had stuff like Billy Ocean and Caribbean Queen. You had, Tracy Chapman, just things like that. Just, I don't know, man. It's just a different world, man. I mean, from the standpoint of, we had Carl Lewis and things that we rallied behind and things that was cool, LL Cool J, things like that, and it just, these kids have to deal with so much. Never once ever did we have to have grief counselors come to a school to help prepare us for anything that happened at our school. The very worst thing that may have happened is two titans would fight. We would have, like, I remember when I was in middle school, we would have like Bruce Raston, and I can't think of his this big other boy. But at the time, they were the two like biggest kids in school, and Toby, yeah, that was his name. And then they got into a fight. It was like Clash of the Titans. That was the biggest thing that happened in my world at that particular time, and it was only big because our world was so small. The internet hadn't infiltrated and brought us all so close to each other, but pulled us apart. You know, as far as our world was concerned, your world was big as your hood was, and that's it. So now we don't have to worry about being confined to our hood, being confined to our city, being confined to our state. The internet is able to transport us and put us right where we need to be instantly. We might as well be on Star Trek and being transported, you know, from the ship down to the planet. Because without you physically having to be there, the internet is taking you wherever you want to be instantly. And that's the one thing that has expanded our world more than anything. It's just the invention of the internet, the invention of video chat, just video alone has expanded our world. Because right now I have a friend that lives in Dubai. I could literally call her up and see, she could just turn on her camera, put it in her window, and I could literally see what's going on in the streets of Dubai. I have another friend who lives in Germany, Stockholm. At this particular point, you can just see what's going on. You don't have to physically be there to know instantly if something happened, if somebody stole some at a convenience store in New York, if somebody just happened to be filming, we can see it instantly. If somebody got into a cab and you just endlessly filming, it don't even really matter. They could be getting in a cab at LAX. We can see it instantly. I mean, we don't have to leave our homes to be wherever we need to be. And that's just the main way the world has changed. But the funny part about that is the world has changed in that particular way, but we've kind of become soft. We used to be the type of people that pulled ourselves up our bootstraps and say, we're going to take care of ourselves. Whatever's going on in our neighborhood, we're going to fix it. Now we have turned into those type of people that when something go wrong, we always say, how come those people over there who don't live here let it happen and let our neighborhood go wrong? They don't live here. How could they have let this happen? We let this happen because we as people have adopted this dumbass, stupid ass, no snitching policy. When those people that you're not snitching on are the people that's ruining your neighborhoods, making it hell for your children to go to school because they're being bullied. And these are the same people that are going to take their kids and instill this dumbness into them, and then it's just going to keep going on. So the world has definitely changed since 1988. Sometimes when your kids leave out this door, you're so fearful for them that they may not make it home. And I just don't know if that's the way our parents felt, because our parents would lock us out and tell us stay out the house because we were becoming a nuisance. I couldn't imagine what it feels like. You know, I just don't think they understand the pressure that us parents are under nowadays when you let your kids out that door. I don't remember my mama having to stand in the door and watch me. I couldn't go 2 feet to the left, 10 feet to the right. I got to stay in the yard. So many kids are yard kids where they have to stay in the yard because there's so much stuff is going on. I never seen a time where right now it's a war against kids. People are literally hating kids, stealing them, putting them into sex trade, sex trafficking, human trafficking, sexually molesting the kids. When did it get to the point where we hate our kids? Where we hate our women? So the world has definitely changed since 1988. When I was 14, all I cared about was going outside playing football, hanging out with my friends. Every so often we would, go to the car wash, make a little money. Then we would head down to McDonald's. And for us, that was the everything. Being able to buy you a Big Mac meal back in them days, it meant something because it wasn't coming around often. Back in 1988, we cherished and we valued our clothes and our shoes. As soon as you walk through that door, you had to get into your school shoes, get out your school shoes and get into your play clothes, get into your play shoes. And if you didn't, it was dire consequences. You were going to get your butt whooped. And the reason you were going to do it because you knew that there were no more shoes coming if you messed those shoes up. Now at my son, age 14, they wear the bottom out, scrub the leather all off. And all we do is say, all right, get in the car. Let's take you to get you another pair of shoes. See, by us doing better, we've making the kids worse. We making a generation worse because they don't understand what it means to work and struggle and really appreciate something. For them, all they say is, Dad, I told these up. You just get me another one. Like, I got the money tree out in the backyard. I just said, oh, you know what? I'm busy right now. Go pluck me a couple $100 bills off and bring them back to me. Then we'll head to the store and get you some shoes. All right, Dad, I'll be back. I'm going to get the money. Hey, while I'm back there, can I get a 50 for myself? Since I had to walk out there, since I don't like to do anything for free, since you pay for everything. And yeah, you know how that goes. You pay for everything, but I don't really want to do nothing to earn anything. You're supposed to do that because I didn't ask to be here. Yeah, you didn't ask to be here, but since you are, you still have to do your damn part. And that's the bottom line. And a lot of these kids walk around with that sense of privilege. And they've heard this one little line that I've heard so many kids say, well, I didn't ask to be here. No, you didn't ask to be here. But be damn grateful that you are here. So, but just because you didn't ask to be here mean you don't have to do your part, mean you don't have to be respectful, mean you don't have to try to learn, try to grow up to be a decent adult. So, yeah, the world has definitely changed since 1988. As far as the movies we used to watch, Indiana Jones, to the music we listened to. I remember, when rap music, had really good storytellers, and I'm not saying that all rap music is bad. I'm not saying that at all. You have some damn good rappers out there who's going to be one day probably considered as some of the greats. But I just wish we'd go back to storytelling where you could close your eyes and you could remember. You could close your eyes and imagine, what this little boy was going through. And Slick Rick's song. You can imagine, you could see the point at when the boy realized what he was doing wrong, and he let the lady go and he starts to move on. You could close your eyes. You can imagine where the little boy starting, the guilt and the remorse is starting to kick into the boy, and he realized, hey, look, what I'm doing is not right. What happened to those type of stories? Remember when Tupac tried to explain to you about Brenda having a baby? Remember how you just got that and you understood? Remember how LL Cool J broke it down to you and told you that he need love? I don't know. Remember how Fresh Prince told us in West Philadelphia where he was born and raised? I know that has nothing to do with that, but you guys get my point, get my drift, And you listen to the music today, right? I remember the first time I heard 2 Live Crew and they did that song, hey, we want some Sir. I was like, I felt so dirty. I felt like, oh my God, if my mom hear me, I am going to get my butt tore up. We shouldn't be listening to this. I don't want to listen to this. But damn it, play it again. You remember those days where you felt like that, where you said, hey, I don't want to listen to this? You remember when you first heard 2 Live Crew, it was just so, they got kicked off the stage for saying the B word now, and now they're saying all type of stuff. You remember when the NWA told us you don't get high off your own supply? Pretty much gave you the blueprint. And now everybody talking about sipping on lean, popping Molly, popping pills, half a pill for the 25. I went in the club the other day and said, hey, I'm going to the bathroom. Went to the bathroom and the guy was like, just say it all casual. Hey, dude, got a half a pill for 25. I said, dude, I ain't into that. All right, player. And he said, so casual. He didn't take offense to it. He's all right, player. Moved on to the next person. And the person right behind me bought the half a pill for 25. Went in the bathroom, popped the pill, came out and bought the other half of the pill. And here's the thing that kills me about stuff like that. Well, I don't say kills me, but here's the thing that I don't understand about stuff like that. You never once told me what the hell the pill was. You just said, I got a half a pill. What is the pill? Are people just buying pills? What are you popping? And you know, it's so messed up when you go to certain clubs now and you see up at the bar, if you are seeing rules that say, if you are popping pills, do not drink this, and this, as it would have adverse effects when you pop your pill. Have we turned into that society where somebody has, when you go to get a drink at the bar, somebody puts up the thing telling you about popping pills? Where they do that at, y'all? That somebody has to have a chart to tell you that if you pop pills, or you popping Molly, popping Percocet, popping this, do not drink this. So yeah, the world has definitely changed since 1988. No, you don't see as many crack addicts walking around, or as we used to call them back in the day, geek monsters. No, you don't see that as much. That's because the crack addicts and the geek monster have learned to dress better, has learned to function better. They're not gone. They still walks amongst us. Except now, instead of laughing at them and pointing at them, we call them friend. We call them brother. We call them sister. We call them teacher. We call them boss. We call them supervisors. Sadly, we call them parents. So I fear for my son. I fear for my kids. I fear that they won't ever know the innocence of just being able to go outside and just hang out on the porch all night long without anything dumb happening to them. And the adults sitting outside watching them while they talking and playing cards and dominoes and things of that nature. They won't ever know the sheer feeling of being able to hang with your friends all night long and just sitting out in the yard playing, catching lightning bugs, little innocent stuff. Because now we as parents, we as people working so damn hard to stay in these houses and pay these mortgages that nobody has time to sit on the porch and enjoy it anymore. And then whatever free time you got, if you're a religious type of person, Christian, Muslim, Buddhist, Baptist, whatever, you're trying to spend that time with the church because they've goaded us into thinking that if we don't give any little extra money, any little extra time, hell bound you be. So we are working and slaving to stay in the houses that we're rarely ever at. Think about the lunacy of that. Think about the monotony of that. Think about the sheer audacity of somebody telling you, I stay in a $275,000 home that you only sleep at on an average of 8 hours a week. The rest of the time, you working that first job. The other rest of the time, you're working that second job. And the other time, you're taking the kids somewhere. The other time, you're spending doing stuff for the church. You spend so much money on this house, but you rarely ever spend any time there at the house. Think about that. Times have changed, people. We got all these big, elaborate front porches, big, elaborate decks in the back, but nobody hardly ever uses them. So it's amazing that life works that way. We spend all this time making all this money, but we rarely ever take time to enjoy the houses. We rarely ever there. So yeah, life has definitely changed since 1988. I mean, my son is turning 14 years old and I'm afraid for him. Every time they walk out that door, you always got this anxiety saying, is my son or my kids going to ever come back? And it shouldn't be that way. I remember, like I said, our parents used to lock us out. We would stay gone all day. I don't think they had to worry the way we do. Our kids would never know the pleasure of just being able to just get on their bike and ride across town and enjoy going to see a friend that they only go to school with, but they never get to see, outside of school, but they go ride over there. Now they can't do that. You'll be reading about your kid in the newspaper, listening to somebody saying, where was his parent at when he's hit by somebody, or they're missing, or they're in the sex slave traffic, they're being human trafficked, and then you couldn't live with that because you said, I should have never let them out. It's almost like our kids, you work hard to stay out of prison, but what you do is turn around is end up being the warden for your kids, because you have to keep them in prison to keep them just so they can survive. But what we don't see, we messing the kids up by them having to live like this. We turning every kid into soft kids. Every kid crying necessarily. Every kid feeling like somebody bullying me and I want to go in my room, hang myself in the closet. We turning these kids into punks, and these are the people that's supposed to be running our country later on. But we don't see we are killing them at their core. And that's all I got to say about that, guys. I'm just trying to tell y'all that we got to do something different. My son just turned 14, and I'm just want to let you know, in 1988, all I cared about was, can Hulk Hogan slam Andre the Giant? But now my kid has to worry about a school shooting. My kid has to worry about being bullied. My kid has to worry about coming home feeling like he want to kill himself. What type of world are we leaving for these kids? What type of legacy are we building? That's just food for thought. I want to leave it right there, guys. I want to thank you for tuning in to the Random Select Podcast. It's the podcast that's all about thought-provoking talk, right here on Atlanta's new underground station, Beat Break 87 FM, where music and talk radio lives. Don't forget the Brass King is coming up next, guys. He's going to get you riding out so you can enjoy the rest of your evening. Until tomorrow, guys, the Random Select is out.
This is Atlanta's new underground station.
How you doing? This is Wood Harris.
Hi, this is Jasmine Guy.
What's going on in Atlanta? This is Clifton Powell.
Hey guys, it's Niecy Nash from TV Land's The Soul Man.
This is Cat Williams.
Check this out. This is your boy RL from NEXT.
Hey everybody, it's your girl Lunel.
What's up, ATL? It's your girl Ken of Atlantic Records.
Hi, I'm Taraji P. Henson.
WBS 87 Atlanta, WAEN FM Atlanta, WBHH, and on iHeartRadio, home of the Beat Break Morning Show with Sean Garvey, DJ Rollum, and the Wake Up Ladies. Beat Break 87 FM, where music and talk radio lives. Streaming online at BeatBreakRadioFM.com.
A Reach One communications station.
Download the TuneIn app to hear Beat Break 87 FM on your mobile device and listen to the Beat Break Morning Show. Weekday mornings only on Beat Break 87 FM, where music and talk radio lives.
What's up, ATL? Make sure that you check out the D Here Radio Show on Beat Break 87 and BeatBreakRadioFM.com.
Tune your radio.
Tune in.
Now.
You can tune in to this radio station on any smartphone or tablet.
iPhone,
Android,
BlackBerry,
Nokia,
Samsung,
Windows phones,
or whatever you have. Download the free TuneIn app from your phone or tablet's app store.
Tune in with music, sports, news, and comedy.
From over 70,000 radio stations around the world. Check it out at TuneIn.com.
Or your app store.
Hey world, it's your man Precise. And I have great news. The Precise Music app is finally available for your iPhone, Android, and BlackBerry through Amazon and other app stores. That's Precise Music. Music is spelled with a Z. Go get it for all things precise. Powered by BlackVibes.com. I tried to put it off, but I can't. It's so me. Tried to blame the other man, but I can't. It's so me. Stay in tune. That's Precise Music. Music is spelled with a Z.
We specialize in creating mobile apps for the entertainment industry. Go to bvmobileapps.com, click Get Started Now, create your account, choose your package, upload your content, and click Submit. BV Mobile Apps. Make it easy. Make it mobile.
Listen to Beat Break 87 FM on the go. Download the Beat Break 87 FM app from the app marketplace, including Amazon, Google Play, and the App Store. View photos, videos, and Beat Break 87 shows on your mobile device. Download the Beat Break 87 FM app now for free.
He has performed on stage in front of thousands of poetry lovers. He has sold out shows and rocked the crowd with the best poets in the industry. Welcome to the stage, spoken word artist, Patrick Duncan, better known as the Preacher Man.
I am Benjamin Keith Montgomery. I invented a vote propeller. I am the former president of South Africa, Nelson Mandela!
critically acclaimed spoken word artist, poet, writer, and the creator of Black on Purpose poetry TV series Wordplay. Patrick the Preacher Man Duncan is coming to a venue near you.
Why is the only time we can come together as a nation is when there are acts of insanity, chaos, or devastation.
Stay tuned to Beat Break 87 FM for updates on Patrick Duncan's upcoming arrival to your city. Visit cdbaby.com/CD/Patrick S. Duncan to order his latest album, What's Going On. Available online, including CD Baby and iTunes.
I want this high to have no affiliation to a political party. I want this high to be spiritual.
For more info, go to BeatBreakRadioFM.com.
Right now, Beat Break Radio is taking it to the streets to find out what's happening in your city.
Hello, I'm Amber Lyons, CEO and founder of From Pain to Purpose. Come out on Saturday, May the 19th from 4 to 8 p.m. and join us as we celebrate the youth in our community at our Healing Pains Through the Arts Teen Spotlight Awards. We're shining a spotlight on our youth who have overcome life's adversities and they're using their gifts and talents to inspire others. Meet us at Green Forest Community Baptist Church, 3250 Rainbow Drive, Decatur, Georgia. Search for tickets now on Eventbrite under Healing Pain Through the Arts Teen Spotlight Awards. Thank you.
We're always taking it to the streets on Atlanta's new underground station, Beat Break 87 FM, where music and talk radio lives.
Wake up weekday mornings to the Beat Break Morning Show and nod your head in bed to the 360 Mix Show. Weeknights on Atlanta's new underground station, Beat Break 87 FM, where music and talk radio lives.